Optimizing sleep is essential for improving health and well-being. However, with the growing number of supplements claiming to improve sleep, it's hard to know what actually works. But one thing that all tranquilizers share is reducing hyperactivity in the brain. The main neurotransmitter that does this is GABA. So does it work? So, if you've been researching muscle recovery, sleep, and relaxation, you must have stumbled across GABA. GABA, or gamma-aminobutyric acid, is one of the main neurotransmitters in the central nervous system that helps you calm down and relax. This could potentially translate into reducing anxiety, stress, depression, and even enhance your sleep. But does it work? Well, in today's video, we'll find that out. We'll check out some of the research and proposed mechanisms of how GABA can work in the body and see it for yourself. Let's get into it. GABA, or gamma-aminobutyric acid, is actually an amino acid. It's not considered proteinogenic or anabolic because it doesn't actually directly help you grow muscle as other amino acids, but it is a neurotransmitter which helps your brain calm down, relax, and reduce activity. So basically, as any inhibitory neurotransmitter, GABA reduces signaling between neurons and neuron responsiveness. It's one of the main neurotransmitters in the brain, along with glutamate, which does the exact opposite, stimulates the brain. Just in case you want to eat it, foods rich in GABA include tomatoes, sweet potatoes, tempeh, is that how you pronounce it? Broccoli, green and black tea, and also cauliflower. So how does it work? Well, as an inhibitory neurotransmitter, its job is to reduce neural signaling. There are two receptors, GABA A and B, and when GABA attaches onto one of these receptors, it reduces neural signaling, meaning there is an inhibitory effect. So, in essence, it reduces the activity of your brain, making you more calm and relaxed. This is done by reducing a neuron's ability to create, send, or receive signals. By blocking these signals, these neural transmissions, your brain becomes more clear, less anxious, less hyperactivated, and a bit more relaxed. GABA and glutamate. Your brain's activity fluctuates throughout the day. In the morning, you're alert, focused, and active in the beta brainwave state. When you're calm and alert and restful, it is the alpha brainwave state. When you're sleeping and you're completely calm, the frequency falls to delta. So this frequency is predetermined by the ratio of two neurotransmitters, glutamate, which is activatory, and GABA, which is inhibitory. So there's more glutamate in the morning, so you're focused, alert, and sharp, and there's more GABA at night, so you're calmer, less anxious, and ready to go to sleep. GABA and glutamate act like an on and off switch, and their balance determines the activity of your brain. To have a properly functioning brain, you need a delicate balance between GABA and glutamate. When this balance is off, it can lead to issues like hypertension, insomnia, mood swings, depression, metabolic disorders, and trouble focusing, sleeping, and being restless. GABA uses and functions. So, because of its inhibitory role, GABA is mostly promoted as a sleep-enhancing supplement or relaxation supplement. Due to its ability to reduce brain's activity, it can combat things like anxiety and stress better. Research has also been done in lowering blood pressure and potentially improving metabolic health and its effects on diabetes. The only problem with GABA is we don't actually know for sure it can cross the blood-brain barrier, the type of GABA that we take from supplement. GABA as a neurotransmitter that's in the body works, but the problem is, can the supplement that we'll ingest actually cross the blood-brain barrier and have the same effect by increasing the actual GABA neurotransmitter? Reducing stress and anxiety. So, from a physiological standpoint, when we're stressed and anxious, there is an increase in cortisol. When this happens, we're in a fight or flight mode, our heart is racing, we start sweating, our heart rate is up a lot. And so all of these has to do with hyperactivity and stimulatory effects, and that brings us towards anxiety and stress. Theoretically, if GABA could reduce this neuron cell responsiveness and hyperactivity, it'll make us function at a much calmer, lower level. So this is why it's logical that if GABA as a supplement works to increase the actual neurotransmitter, it can combat things like anxiety and stress. Also, fun fact, numerous anti-anxiety and stress drugs actually target the GABA receptors, which is one of the way they work. A review of 14 studies on GABA showed positive effects of GABA supplementation on stress and limited evidence for sleep improvement. Improving sleep. How effective actually is GABA? So the mechanism stays the same. You basically have your sympathetic nervous system, which means activation, energy, anxiety, stress, and your parasympathetic system, which is more of a rest and digest state where you're calmer. And so GABA works by promoting parasympathetic activity. That's why it's up at night when you actually need to calm down and sleep. If we can slow down the activity of the brain, it's so much easier to enter the lower brainwave state like delta, where we are much more calm and relaxed. So the ability to fall asleep and stay asleep is that much better. A small study using GABA derived from rice germ improved subjective sleep quality and objective sleep efficacy. In 2018 study, 300 milligrams of GABA 1 hour before bed resulted in faster sleep onset latency and improved in subjective sleep quality. Lowering blood pressure. High blood pressure is synonymous with states of anxiety and stress. The higher our anxiety and stress levels, the higher our heart rate frequency and our blood pressure. GABA has been one of the supplements proposed to work to lower blood pressure in hypersensitive people. Interestingly, most of this research that has been performed and showed beneficial effects that I came across was actually done using certain foods like white rice enriched with GABA or fermented milk with high levels of GABA. Studies show reduction in blood pressure and consequently hypertension in hypersensitive adults. When it comes to supplementing with GABA to improve sleep, the mechanisms behind definitely make sense, and there is also some data to suggest that it works. This is why I consider GABA to be one of these agents that could potentially improve sleep, and I have added it into my sleep-enhancing routine just to test it and experiment with it. Some studies show beneficial effects like blood pressure reduction, sleep improvements, and also lowering the brainwave activity, which are actually quantifiable. And there are also other studies which look at the subjective side, like self-reported or subjective quality of sleep or rates of depression and anxiety, stress, or well-being and mood, which also seem to show a few beneficial effects. So the key takeaway is the neurotransmitter GABA definitely works. The mechanisms are there, it is effective. The problem is, can this supplement of GABA actually cross the blood-brain barrier to exert these effects and increase the actual neurotransmitter in the brain? This opens up the question for optimal dosage, type of supplements, and proper timing for GABA so that we can actually improve sleep. That was all I have for you today. Make sure to check out my sleep routine or how to enhance sleep video to learn a few more tips and tricks that will get you into bed faster. That's all we have for you today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.